The funny part will be as we get more and more fucked up, because I'm almost there. I'm already there. I think if I get like fucked up a little.
I'm an emotional dumpster fire that's been sitting in the rain for the last 30 years.
And I have seasonal affective disorder.
And I just escaped from the psych ward.
And this is Drink for the Trauma.
A show where we talk about anything and everything because...
Who wouldn't?
And who couldn't?
And maybe we shouldn't.
Right. So this episode, we're getting a little wet. It's been a weird week. We're all in a weird place.
Yeah.
This is Victoria. She's my cousin.
Hi.
And she is like an integral part of this entire series. This whole show began as like an idea / drinking game that we did in my apartment a couple years ago.
Yeah, it came to this up brain, and
we
now
were in
out in the open.
Very dark place.
And now it's a YouTube channel.
Tonight, we're just going to tell some more funny, embarrassing, up stories.
Right.
Yeah.
So as most of you know, I've got some body issues, body dysmorphia, that whole mess. So I tried to go on Jenny Craig because a bunch of people at work were doing it and they were losing a bunch of weight and you don't have to cook or do anything. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So I called and we went through the entire process. This is like a 45-minute onboarding phone call for this to be a part of a member of their Jenny Craig family.
Really?
Yeah. Banned from Jenny Craig.
Banned.
Who else has
banned.
been banned from Jenny Craig?
I called Jenny Craig and I'm like, hi, I want to be skinny. And they were like, okay, let's help you. And so they're going through this entire questionnaire with me. They're asking me for my payment, all this nonsense. And then they get to the end of the 45-minute conversation and they were like, hey, just a quick question. Any allergies to any nuts at all? Pistachios, anything like that? Have you ever had a reaction? And I said, I ate a pistachio once and it made my mouth like a little itchy. And all of a sudden I hear them being like, hang on 1 second. No. We cancel. Banned?
Literally.
Okay.
Literally.
I'll tell her. Yeah. I'm so sorry to tell you this, but you actually are not going to become a member of our family today. It's not going to be Jenny Craig for you.
Not our family.
Why?
Not our family.
You can't do
Didn't
it. They
said
like,
something weird.
Like you said, she's like, yeah, banned for life? Right. I'll let her know.
Actually going to be banned from Jenny Craig for life. I said, I'm a nurse. Like, it wasn't anaphylaxis. My mouth got a little itchy. I know it.
Did she say I know it?
I know it.
It's
We
like,
can't have that liability on our hands. We can't have you having an allergic reaction. I said, what if I am ready to take the risk? What if I'm ready? Get skinny or die trying.
What if I'm ready to risk it all for Jenny Craig?
What if I
risking it all for
need Jenny Craig? I'm risking it all for Jenny Craig. Put her on the ban list. Write it. Put her on the ban list. She's banned. So I guess I'll never be skinny because I can't go on Jenny Craig.
Right.
I mean,
but you are skinny, so it's fine.
So f*** you, Jenny Craig.
And I did it. And we
did it without you, bitch.
Speaking of body issues, I was a little bit of a model for a second. I had
I didn't know this.
Career. I know you couldn't tell. We were taking measurements one day, and they were just like, "I think you'd have a better career as a plus size model." And I had a grape that day, and I was just like
120 pounds.
And I'm like, oh, so I'm losing my hair for this. Then I had this one girl who was just like, you know what, you're like kind of ordinary looking. And I was like, bitch, are you kidding me? I was like, you're 14, ordinary. You bitch.
Wait, you give them $7,000 and they play RuPaul's Super Queen as you walk in a runway of a Knights of Columbus in New Haven.
Yeah.
She's a Super Queen.
Remember that time you passed out in Big Lots?
Yeah. It's like it was yesterday.
It actually was yesterday.
Yeah,
just
pretty
trying
much.
to
Pretty much. I've never gotten off the floor of Big Lots. So every
that is my hell.
Every
I'm
day,
on the floor
every
of North
day
Haven
is a
Big
Lots
Lots
day. Yeah.
Oh my God! Tell us your Big Lots story.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, went to Big Lots with Nicole. Worked out in the morning. Didn't have a drop of water. It was like 95.
Not even a sip.
Not even a sip. And it was like 95 degrees outside. And she goes, I gotta get a couch. And I was like, all right, I'm coming. All of a sudden, I'm holding on to the carriage. And I'm like, whoa. There's like 2 people other than us in the store. And I'm like, they're all looking at me. Before I knew it, I was on the floor. And then really, everybody was looking at me. I tried to pass out onto the couch. Instead, I went onto the floor, hit the couch, but went onto the floor.
It was like a very slow-mo, like...
I need it.
Yeah. Ever since then, you know, that feeling of being on the Big Lots floor is a feeling that I've brought with me for the past like 4
Present
years.
day.
And like I said, I've never gotten off the floor. It's just every single day. I wake up, I get out of bed, and I'm like, whoa,
I'm still at Big Lots.
I'm still in Big Lots. When I die and go to hell, it's Big
Big
Lots.
Lots.
It's Big Lots. Being on the floor and never getting back up again. Well, cheers to that.
I have a story of when I passed out as well. I was 18 years old and my friend was going to get her ear pierced and I was like, yeah, I'm going to come get a tattoo. And at that time I was talking to a guy who lived in New York who was a vegan, and he had been filling me in on like why he was vegan and all these like, you know, animal abuse videos, which were like really jarring and scary. And so I decided, I was like, I'm going to contribute to a better sustainable earth and become vegan. I interpreted that as like almonds and carrots. So I like had a bag of almonds and some carrots at lunch that day.
The diet,
so I go to get the world's tiniest tattoos. We'll put a little picture in and you can see how small they are. They were just finishing up like a little part and I passed out. I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. And as I woke up, they were feeding me fruit snacks, which had gelatin in them. So I woke up, I'm like, there's gelatin in this. And they're like, okay.
Passing out, it's pretty common with me. Just last week, I had gone to Boston. I went with a couple of my friends. I had gotten fish tacos, very fishy. And I was like, another red flag. So
Right. Fish tacos, red flag.
all of a sudden, I get up, I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I might hit my head on the stall. All of a sudden, my stomach starts going, and I was like, no, I'm not on the floor anymore. I'm having an adrenaline rush.
Oh, you got off the floor finally. Last week?
That was the only time. I'm back on the floor. It was a very like brief.
I went from the Big Lots floor to the floor of that restaurant. I got food poisoning from a fish taco.
Yeah. I was like, I can't vomit on the floor. That's like the last thing I want to do.
Yeah.
I got the bag out of the panty liner and tampon thing, and it was clean. It had just been replaced. Yak into this bag, and I was like, oh, okay.
You got it, girl.
All of a sudden, I move it off to the side. It breaks open.
Oh,
Throw up is on the floor.
just where you didn't want it.
My phone is on top of the toilet paper holder. Phone falls into the throw up.
No.
Crap. Some girl comes in after I'm done and she's just like, oh my God, that's horrible. And I was like, I know. I don't know who would do this.
know it.
I go upstairs and the manager is walking around. And I was like, I just want to let you know, like, somebody threw up in the bathroom.
It's a mess in there.
I was like, it is, like, I don't know who would do this. And they were like, I know. We already have somebody, like, going down there.
I kind of have had my own little like bouts of food poisoning before. My mom and I went through something very similar when we went to Mexico 2 years ago. I think while we were in Mexico City, we drank water that wasn't filtered. We got what my mother called Montezuma's Revenge. It's basically where you get really sick and you're out of your ass the entire time.
Oh.
Speaking of Mexico, there's also like a funny story with my mom in Mexico, which she's super embarrassed by, but I love it. So we rented a car down from Cancun to Tulum. First night I get there, I find some dude and I'm like, ooh, hot, like let's do this. And I drive into the jungle to find his beautiful home. Come back to the hotel in the morning so my mom wouldn't be like, where were you? What are you doing? What's happening? What are you having fun with friends? You meeting friends? We had it originally parked in front of the hotel. I moved it maybe like a block and a half away. Next morning we wake up, whatever, we go to the beach, super hot, and she's like, I'm gonna go to the car from the hotel, like while you get your together because you're clearly a hot mess. And I get in the car and she tells me that she accidentally gets into this car that's parked where the old one was with a blown out windshield. Doesn't realize that it's blown out and is parked across the street from a mechanic spot where this dude is saying, no lady, that's not your car. I know, I have to move the car. I'm so sorry. I know, I'll move it right now. That bitch gets into the car, puts the key in the ignition and it won't turn, and homeboy is right at the door and he's saying, "No, lady, that's not your car."
Not your car.
And she went, oh my.
Did she not understand what they were saying in Spanish, or like, you don't know?
No, she definitely didn't understand what they were saying in Spanish, because he was like trying to say like, "No, lady, like that's definitely not your car. Like, what are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, he's just saying,
Thank you.
I have to move the car. Thank you. I know. We parked here. I'm so sorry."
I'm glad I brushed up on my Spanish over the last couple of years, because I had an embarrassing Spanish moment myself. I try to speak as much Spanish as I can to my patients, because like, why not? Why not know another language? My patient is asking me in Spanish, how long after I get my epidural am I gonna have my baby? And I was trying to tell her, like, you know, everybody's body is different. Like, your body is the boss. And I was like, su cuerpo es, ¿qué es la palabra por boss? Cojones. Su cuerpo es cojones. Spoiler alert, guys, that doesn't mean boss, it means balls. She said, "Hey, how long after my epidural am I gonna have my baby?" And I said, "Your body is balls." She was like, "No entiendo." So it's very important to know different words in Spanish.
Oh my God.
Your body's balls. So that's our weird, funny, traumatic stories that we love sharing with you guys.
It was a lot of fun talking it over. I'm so glad that we brought you on this week.
And we just want to go ahead and thank whoever wants to sponsor us first.
Anyone.
Truly, Spindrift. And we'll see you next time on
Drink for the Trauma.
Still alive, but I'm barely breathing.
I'm so sorry.
Are you serious? That's the first burp this whole episode.
No, it's
you
not.
had one.
There was like Rick burps everywhere.
The audience can join us.
If the audience wants to join and drink, please feel free to join us in our drink. Oh, we're not even drinking to what
The audience can join us, you know.
If the audience wants to join us.
If the audience would join us, please.
And join us, audience. We're almost done.
I know. Okay, I'm trying so hard. I'm a Pisces who consistently ignores red flags.
And I have seasonal affective disorder.
And I passed out in a Big Lots.
And this
I wasn't ready for that. I'll tell you what, you're not going to have that Jenny Craig.
Big Lots.
Every day is a big
So-
day.